everybody. I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Zee Garcia.
And I'm Joey Evans.
Happy New Year!
Woo-hoo!
It is the year 2025. And
It is.
And it's such a weird thing to think about. They just made a movie over Christmas that came out, the Y2K movie, showing what would have happened if it really did, everything fell apart.
That's a thing that came out? Was it a horror movie or is it funny?
It's a horror comedy,
Okay.
One of those.
No one's
movies.
talking about it, which is not a good sign.
Why would anybody be?
Kyle Mooney's the director. He's from SNL, so it's...
The girl who played Snow White is one of the actors or something, I think.
No, I never heard of it. Okay.
Anyway, so that was 25 years ago.
Yep.
We were worried about...
The world ending.
Planes falling out of the sky and me not being able to access my AOL internet account. You know,
I still can't.
What if I've got mail but I can't read my mail?
I'll tell you this. If this happened today in our modern society, so many Kickstarter campaigns would be like, listen, the reason we're delayed is Y2K.
Yeah.
No, I really think if the internet went down today, we would have a like kids with the attention span that kids have and how much they're sort of glued to internet and just sort of rapid flashing lights. We'd have what's that kid's book? The Lord of the Flies situation on our hands. Yeah. All the kids would be like, we're eating all the adults or something. You know what I mean? Like it would be very dark times.
It was very in the beginning. What was that TV show where they all lost power? Jericho. And in like episode 2, they're using iPhones as they're just throwing them around with baseball bats and hitting
But
them.
that never finished, right?
It's a lost situation. Anyhow, so hey, we want to thank a couple people and then an organization. First, we want to say thank you to some of our Kickstarter backers. We want to say thank you to ABC, to Jeff Pleadwell, Angela Fortunato.
Hey, I know who that is.
Heller.
Oh my gosh!
Renee McKenzie from Mexico.
Oh,
Kurt Evans, Bradley Warby, Mill. I'm sorry. Let me do this right here because he brought
Do it
up
right, please. Do it right, please.
Milhow, Komorowski.
You tried.
Markic.
You're just making up
Josh Franklin.
There we go.
Yeah, Josh!
And Mr. Millstream.
I know who that is too.
Hey.
Oh, it's just superstars today.
Yeah,
Hey,
I know.
you want your name called out? Well, join us in 2 weeks when our Game Found campaign launches, and you can back us and get your name called out also. On that end, we also want to say thank you to Grip Mats. I just was using a grip mat the other day. Nice mats you can put out. You can get ones for specific board games, or you can just buy some mats if you don't want to touch your nasty table.
Yeah.
When your kids don't properly wash the table after dinner.
That's
and
right.
There's that one spot there that's invisible to see.
But it's
But if you
slippery.
put a card there,
Sticky.
no, it sticks to it. It's worse than the Wii.
What do you eat?
Grease.
Let's just bake it.
So get a grip mat. Check them out. Grip mats are fantastic.
Yes, indeed.
Alrighty, well, now we're going to jump into 2025. Okay, So here's how this works, folks. Every year, people love watching our most anticipated games in 2025. This is not something, I'll say this right up front, not something I'm great at because I don't really look to the future that much. I'm always thinking about the games we have now. I made 40 lists about 2024.
Yeah.
It's true.
I'm going to hear these guys talk about some games and go, oh, I would have put that on my list because there's also not a lot of information. If you go back and look at our most anticipated from previous years and then their top 10s, they almost never correspond.
Right.
So we're just going off the best information we can. I went to Board Game Geek. I sorted the games by 2025. I read through, I sorted them by the number of ratings so that there's some information about them. I looked through about 300-400 of them, and then I was done.
Yeah.
And some, are you hopeful they're going to come out?
I shouldn't. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
There's a couple that did not make my list because I put them on years in previous past. And if you are on my list and you say you're coming out in a year and you don't, I'm not putting you on anticipated again out of spite.
It's very spiteful.
I'm talking to you, Flo.
Yeah, I'm one. Wow.
Flo, but it's not just
Progressive.
Flo. I put Unconscious Minds on the list, I think, twice.
Did you really?
Yes.
That's on my list for next year.
It's out, buddy.
Oh, man.
But there's a lot of these games that, that happens to. And it just is what it is. And again, we're just going by the information. There's a couple games I played because of various reasons. And I made them the lowest ranked games on my list because I'm anticipating them slightly less just because I already played them.
I've played 2.
I played 3 of mine.
I think I only played 1. I try not to do any.
Well, then
Actually, that's not true.
You failed.
Yeah. All right. Maybe I played a couple more. I think 2.
Do you know how to count?
I do.
He said I did 1.
Some of these I played-ish.
So 2.
What do you mean you've played ish?
Demoed. I don't really count that.
Well, you tried it.
I did try it.
So the Dark Quarter won't be on anyone's list. Not mine. Dark Quarter's been on my list, I think, twice already.
Yeah,
I'm done with that.
Enough of that. Just come out already. Jeez.
It might come out. We'll see.
Yeah, right?
All righty. Well, here we go.
All right.
What are you so giggly about?
He looks like guilty about something.
I am.
What did you do?
We are going to start this off with a bang. Here's the thing. I want to do one.
Is this the Dark Quarter that we just talked about?
It's not.
Oh.
No, but I think I am going to get flack for this. All right?
Well, yeah, you didn't have to specify that.
All right.
We know.
You guys are going to be like, it's not official. It's not legal to do this. But I am. So
What's he talking
I am
about?
most looking forward
This is
to
illegal?
the DC game.
What DC game?
Well,
DC Heroes United?
DC United ceased.
That's not a real game. This is
I am most
So if either
looking
comes out,
forward-
you're counting it?
This is it. I will not miss on this one, by the way.
this is illegal.
These
are two different
You would
games.
not like it. It is. They're very similar.
Garbage.
No, these are 2 very
They're
different
not.
games. DC
They're-
Heroes United
Nope.
and Deceased.
DCeased is coming out
I've heard of both
way
ways.
before DC United, right?
They're both 2025, so I'm hopeful.
Okay. Well, I'm going to add to our predictions we made this morning. I'm going to say DC United is not going to come out this year.
You don't think so?
I'm just judging by the length it took them to get the Marvel one out.
You talk about coming to us or coming to like Target?
Coming to
Yeah,
America.
I'm not counting the base little game. That one I will say will come out this year.
Okay.
So
did the Deceased.
Spin Master
The
was-
Deceased
Deceased
spin
though
one.
was
Spin off
kickstarted
is
way
already
before-
out.
Now you've played it, right? I don't think I was
Did
in
you
a
know
playthrough of
that?
It is?
It is. You can get it on Target. I mean, on Amazon right now.
Why do we not have it then?
I don't know. Gotham City something.
Huh.
The Deceased one from Spin Master, the smaller version they put out,
Yeah.
that's out.
Your anticipation sucks.
So technically, you're wrong on both counts. One already came out. One will not come out. Checkmate.
As a Batman would say.
Okay, here's the thing. I am excited about both of them, obviously. DC United, just because more characters. Deceased, I think every time they do a zombie side, which, it's the core, they do something fun and different. This one, I think, ignores the whole zombie aspect of Marvel United. Then they go to just heroes.
Correct, which
this,
I
right?
like better anyway.
I
yes.
do too. And I think they do something different with the bystanders, I think. There's a couple of changes on Deceased, and the fact that you can mix and match. I'm a huge fan of being able to throw people, the crossovers. As a kid, those are my favorite
illegal.
comics. It is.
Okay, first of all,
The one thing they're doing that's really good is the equipment. That's the one thing
Yeah.
it has that the other ones didn't.
I agree on that, but I will say that I do miss the zombie part of it. Not necessarily because of zombies. I like that a little better, but also that means you're not going to get to play some of your characters you want to. Because some
they're
characters,
zombies?
Some characters were zombies.
I feel like just about everything that showed up in both flavors.
Maybe I guess that's true because it was started off like a virus and then expanded in the comics. So maybe they're
Okay.
saying pre-virus getting it.
Yeah. I like to play actually as the Hulk against the Hulk.
Have you done that?
Can you do that?
You could do that. They're different pieces. You could just be like, have I done that?
Yeah.
No, I'm not a heathen.
What about Darkseid versus the Hulk?
Dark Side.
Nope. I've heard it both ways.
No, you haven't.
No, I haven't.
When you heard it one way, was it out of your own mouth?
When I heard it one way, it was me reading it.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can mix and match. That's like a legit thing. That
You
they're
can,
secretly-
yes.
Well, no, they said we could talk about.
Yes, you can mix and match then.
I would love to have like Hulk and Superman on the same team. That'd be fun.
I agree.
Yes.
Hulk, Superman, Thor, and Wonder Woman. Like
Okay.
just 4 powerhouse. The zombies are like,
We're done.
we're done.
They'll walk the other way. They'll walk away from the noise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm really excited to see both of these. whichever one actually shows up.
All right, is yours also a combo of 2 games?
No. I pick legit picks.
How what's your number 10?
My number 10 is The Dark Quarter.
Is it really?
But it's the last time, Lucky Duck. It's the last time. This is it. You got 2025 or bust. Okay, I've been waiting for this game for what feels like millennia.
I think they announced this in 2020. I feel pretty confident it was during the pandemic
So
that they
long.
announced it.
This is basically
This was modern when they announced it.
Destiny's meets, I don't know,
Chronicles of Crime.
Chronicles of Crime a little bit,
Yeah.
so an investigative one. It's got a really cool theme, sort of spooky, voodoo-esque influences in it. The characters look great. The idea of exploring look great. That dice system from Destiny's is by far the best part of Destiny's, and this has that in there. I'm just psyched for it, but yes, I would definitely. It's 10 because I was like, come on, it's how many times can we do this?
I will say this. I'll give them some credit here that if this game is coming out and it's very app heavy, I want it right before it comes out.
Fair.
So I'm okay with that, and Lucky Duck does a really good job on their apps. So I'm hoping this is good, but yeah, seriously.
Yeah, this is Van Ryder and Lucky Duck. I like both companies quite a bit. I'm super psyched. If I hadn't put this on the list a few times already, it feels like it would be higher on my list.
All right. My number 10 is one I already played. Like I said, I'm putting those lower, but I'm still excited to play this again. And this is Tend from Ivy Studios, designed by
Yes.
Max Anderson, Zach Dixon, Austin Harrison, and Toby Sarnell. Tend is a flip and write, and that's usually a genre that I'm not that interested in. Although the bigger they are,
The harder they fall.
I kind of look at them a little more. But I played this one, and I really like it. I'm looking forward to getting the final product and messing with it a lot. I like, especially, really like the fishing mini game involved in it. I find that to be so much fun, although I also like the mining mini game. I find those two mini games to be just tremendously interesting. And there's just something, it's kind of like when I used to play Minesweeper, that same kind of feeling, like click on here, see what you get.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Tend, my number 10. Did you notice that my 10 had the word 10 in it? I have hidden clues in all my game titles.
Really?
I have not.
Well, it's a hidden clue. It's not that hidden. I hope they get harder.
My number 9? 9. B9.
All right. So my number 9 is kind of the next iteration of a game that I enjoyed to play, but I have not gone back to it because of its complexity, but I found myself thinking about the game. And this one I mentioned earlier today, actually, and this is World Order. I am excited to see what this is.
You played a demo of this?
This morning that you put this on your list.
Everybody knew. Everybody. Did you play a demo of this, you said?
No, I have not.
Why is this on your list when you're not a huge fan of hegemony?
I just don't like I like the idea. I mean, I think hegemony is very interesting as far as I love how it works together, everything like the push and pull of an actual economy. This right here interests me in the fact that to see you almost feel like you see the inner workings of things that I personally did not know about the economy. I mean, you see a lot of intricacies. I'm excited to see what they do about this. It takes the 4 world powers, which is I think China, U.S., Morocco, I'm just kidding. EU and somebody else. But anyway, it's neat to see that push and pull. Australia. But it's just, I'm interested to see what this does with that system. I heard it's lighter, but then it doesn't. Chris mentioned a maybe lighter, which would be a good thing to have at the table more. But I honestly, from what the weight is on BGG, it looks the same weight.
If I had a 10 least looked forward to games, this would be on.
Did you play Hegemony? Hegemony or whatever?
What? Tend?
No, did you?
We're on number 9.
Did you
No,
play it?
I have not, no. I don't know. It just sounds so dry. That sounds like reading a book.
100% Z would not like this game. No
Really?
way.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, so?
no.
He's smart, though. He knows.
It's not about
He
being
is not
smart.
Okay, sorry.
It's about wait a second. What?
I'm defending you.
Yeah,
You
no,
be
thanks.
nice to Z.
Thank you. Okay, Joey, I'm excited for you to be
quoting me.
excited.
I'll play this with you.
My number 9 is a game I've also played. It is a big game. It's complex. It makes me feel smart that I can handle it. It's a game called Luthier or Luthier or however you want to say that. It's a very interesting worker placement game. Fantastic theme. You are producing musical instruments for hoity-toity people, and you're selling it to them. And you get patrons to give you that moolah cash so you may carve, string, and whittle. I don't know how you make instruments. I don't know.
I don't think you whittle.
There's a guy in the back porch. What you doing? Making a violin?
I'm making a piano.
Ocarina.
I really like this game. I thought, well, you played it as well. We a few of us played it together, and
Nice dice tower.
it had a wonderful dice tower, yes, that made music as you dropped the dice into it. But I loved all the moving parts in this. It was a heavy Euro that felt very thematic. It felt like all the bits and pieces in it were there to feed into and assist that theme, and vice versa. The theme was there to assist everything you were doing. So I really liked it. So yeah, my number 9. I'm looking forward to this coming out on being available so more people can play it and I can talk about it. Luthier.
Good pick. My number 9, Ditto. Also Luthier.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness me.
Well, I told you I put the ones I played near the bottom, but this is fantastic. Paperson Games did a really good job on Distilled, and I think this game is probably twice as good as Distilled. And I like Distilled. This is a really solid game that lets you do really cool things. Being able to upgrade the actions you take feels really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the theme. I love the whole idea of the classical music. This is the best game of this theme I've played, I think.
Wow. It's also
That's not necessarily super high praise.
It's a very specific theme. That's the thing. It's not about like, oh, you're part of a musician family in the 1600s. That's kind of generic. This is like, you are the guy who makes the instruments.
Sure, but I mean, I
think
this
guy, that's so specific. I like
even that. I mean, just the whole classical music. There's a lot of games that do it, but it's usually some area control game. And in the pits, the violinist fighting the trump.
That's my favorite kind, yeah.
Brass v. woodwinds.
Yeah.
Oh, brass would win. They have weapons.
No, they would just unload their spit.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
It is, but it's like no one told me that when I learned the trumpet. They're like every, minute you need to clear the trumpet.
It's really disgusting. That's why I'm not a winds guy, no.
That's brass.
It's not called winds?
Woodwinds is the piccolo, the flute, the clarinet, the oboe. Brass is the trumpet, trombone.
Got it. Well, the ones filled with spit, I'm not about that.
The ones with the reeds you have to put in your mouth and hold your mouth for a while.
Yeah, the reeds are tough.
I've tried that, and those are it looks so easy to make that thing vibrate just right, but it's like, clarinet, getting a clarinet to start making noise is, you think, a lot easier. It's not.
Even a trumpet, though, you don't just go, you have to put your lips like this. It's like it's more like that. It's a very specific.
How's it go?
That's how you do it. No, I'm telling you that's the.
We got a close up real quick.
No, we cannot. Let's move on. That's my number 9, Luthier.
Okay.
That's gross.
I will say they had pianos at the dueling piano thing on the cruise, and all of a sudden I saw them take the covers off the pianos and open it and stick them inside the pianos.
He's like, is that how pianos work?
I thought there were chords in there, like strings but they were keyboards that were stuck inside things that looked like pianos.
Okay.
I was like, these are incredible.
I was confused for a minute too. I'm like, that's not where you store the covers for a piano inside the piano.
I was like, wow.
I like that.
Okay. All right. So my next one is one that I think I played a couple years ago. It's been a while coming out.
Goodness.
I think most people have played here. But this is what I think is releasing this year. It is dice drafting and tableau building. And it's a very pretty game that uses gears. And this is Roz, A Dance of Love.
Yes. I would not listen to Joey's explanation of the thing there. What did you say it was?
It's filled with
It's
gears.
got gears. I like gears.
It's not really gears or dancing people
They're
swinging around.
dancing people, but it uses
Don't-
gears to
don't-
determine it.
Don't bring a dance, the cultural significance of a dance down to gears.
I will say that
Filled with spit, it sounds like.
my wife does love it because when you spin that, it really does look like the dresses going around. I mean, I love dice on this, and the whole thing is lining dice up with other dice to arrange the pips and
well,
things.
they're now printed on the board.
Oh, are
The
they?
dice,
Okay.
yeah. That picture here is closer to what it's going to look like. I don't know if the box is. I don't know what the box is going to look like. That might be it. But if you're coming on the cruise, you'll have a chance to play because
Oh,
the
it's on there?
designer will be bringing the hottest, almost final version of it with him.
Okay. So I haven't played this version. I think it's a prototype thing, but yeah, it's really I love that system, and I think it makes me realize how much it's hard for me to plan ahead when you spin those, the math that goes into it, and it's a pretty game.
But I thought you were smart, Joey.
Not when it comes to gears.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so this is very interesting. Big fistful of dice. So I'm looking forward to
If
that.
you and I ever get stuck somewhere and the car breaks down, we should just
Oh,
set it
it's
on fire
done.
and walk away.
Can't we walk? I don't like to walk either.
We'll Uber out.
There we go.
I know how to use the app.
I only go places with Uber.
All right, my number 8 is a game called Horror on the Orient Express. This
I thought about this one.
Yeah,
This
this
is on my
one
short
looks
list.
interesting. Now, to be fair, and the reason it's this high, this low, I suppose, is because I've heard that it's a little. I've heard some whispers of
fiddly?
it being kind of clunky.
Yeah.
Not kind of just okay. But I love the idea of the game. I really like the way it looks. I love the theme. It's a Cthulhu game, basically set on a train. It seems intricate. It seems like there's tons going on in it. I want to get in there, man. I want this game taught to me. I'll put it that way. But I want to get in there and figure out what's going on. It looks like a lot. I'm hoping it's not too much, and I'm hoping it's not too clunky. If it delivers on the promise of that cover, even a little bit,
I agree.
I'll be very happy with this one.
You love this theme a lot.
The
don't you?
theme is cool,
Yeah,
and there's
yeah.
sort of like it's very
It's the publisher I'm worried about.
Chaosium.
Yeah, they're not known for board games, really.
Yeah, so we'll see. It seems very mystery driven.
Mm-hmm.
You're discovering who's who. You're revealing things, finding things out. Yeah, it's very captivating. I'm super interested and captivated by this. My number 8, Horror on the Orient Express.
I'm hoping by the time we get to number 7, I'll be able to talk about a game first. My number 8 is a crossover with Joey.
Boom!
This is the last game of the list that I've already played.
Deceased to United.
And this is Roz. I'm not putting that. I didn't put DC United because it's, in my opinion, just an expansion. I've already played Marvel United. I know it's good.
They're not the same.
Anyway, Roz is a game. This is a Dice Tower Essential, so keep that in mind. This is one of those ones where I sat down. Actually, I saw him messing with the gears. It was gears before. And I was like, I'm very interested in this. So I sat down and looked at it. And it's morphed a lot since then, but I really like the idea of picking an action on the wheel and the different things matter. And you're trying to pick ones maybe that match. If the colors match across, that's 2 dancers that match together.
Okay.
But also you might pick one because you just want that color die.
Okay.
And that die might get you more points. It's not particularly heavy, but it offers a lot of good choices, and the theme works. I mean, it's a little abstracted, obviously, people spinning in circles, but I like it a lot. So I'm very excited to see this one coming out.
Cool.
So what 2 games did you mash together for number 7?
I
Mine is Severance. That's got the word 7 in there somewhere. Hey, Severance is coming out in like 2 weeks.
I haven't started it yet.
Oh, never mind then.
Guys,
Chris
what is-
Severance is coming out in 2 weeks.
What is Severance?
It's an Apple TV show. It's really good.
The second season of that is coming out?
You watched it too?
Yeah, of course. Anybody who's not an idiot has watched it.
Fine.
There's a lot of ignoramus insults being thrown around here.
There are. Fine. You know what? I have Android TV. I like all their shows.
Android TV
They
is
don't
a
have
thing?
it. They don't have it. All right. So my next one. This is really, it's another IP game, and it is one of the only games I give a 10 to. It's a second iteration of that, and that is the new Unmatched Adventures, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I am really
picking expansions
excited.
today? I mean,
hey, you know what? If I'm excited about them, I thought about not putting them on there.
This
But
isn't on my list, but
I'm excited about it.
it should be on my list.
Thank you,
This 2025? Is this 2025?
Yes, 2025.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I mean, this will probably bring me back to Unmatched. I'm just saying that
You can't play mine.
What?
I'm not going to let you play it.
This is on my list. This is my number 10.5.
This is, I love, again, mix and match. And then the fact that you can bring them into the other ones. And I think some of the villains are actually playable heroes.
They did do that, yeah.
right?
You can be Shredder.
Yes.
Like you can play as Shredder.
Shredder is the hero. If the bad guy from Karate Kid,
Oh, they're not going
can
to pull
be
a
the
Cobra
good
Kai
guy
on this. That would be great.
Cobra Kai, Pizza Kai, bring him back. Shredder's like, all along it was me.
That would be good.
It would be good.
Shredder was just trying to get a group of friends to
That's it.
process 1980s electronics in that one cave.
And a bunch of evil reptiles. Or if I told you there was a bunch of reptiles with things and you didn't know the turtles existed, you'd be like, they're the bad guys.
Yeah.
That is true.
It's certainly not the guy covered in knives.
Yeah, Shredder doesn't really leave a lot to your.
I need to be very careful. I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Wish me luck.
So anyway, yeah, I'm excited about this. And minis, of course, look great. The fact that you can play them in other iterations of the game and more Unmatched Adventures I really wanted. And this is a great IP for it, you know?
Yes.
So I'm excited about this. Yeah, so anyway, that's Unmatched Adventures.
All right,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
My number 7, I know very little about, but the theme and the cover, the ideas got me super intrigued. This is called Coming of Age. Coming of Age.
Oh, I really like this cover.
yeah.
It seems so neat. From what little I gleaned, you are starting as a kid. You will be going through your life, basically, growing up, coming of age.
Short life.
It is a dice management game, from what I could gather. You are going to be visiting different locations, I'm guessing in like a town, and I don't know, progressing, leveling up. I don't know what you're doing in this one. I did see in the description that they say you start as a kid and you kind of get help from your parents, whatever that means in the game mechanically. And then you sort of
beg them for money.
You're begging for money, and then you strike out on your own, coming into your own as a teenager, I guess. Seems really neat. Absolutely love the look. Sounds great.
Yeah, it does look fun.
I'm excited for that one. Yeah, it seems incredibly appealing. Like that cover makes me want to lean in and find out more. You know,
It looks so different. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my number 7. Coming of Age.
All right, my number 7 is not particularly a looker of a game. I'm going by past work on this one, and also I tend to like any Civilization game. This is Epoch's Course of Cultures. It's an okay cover, I suppose. You know, they're kind of
Interesting.
This is a massive
Haven't heard of
hourglass.
this.
Here's why I'm interested in this one. The designer of this game is Jeffrey CCH, who is probably best known for Ella and Something Shiny, that little game. But him and this company, their last game from 2023 is Terrorscape.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay.
So I'm interested in that, but also it's just a Civilization game. Over the course of the game, you're building 9 inventions that are going to help determine what you do. It looks so generic laid out, right? That's why it's a little lower than mine, but I really have a lot of faith. I like the stuff that he's done in the past. Well, most of it. I don't like all his games, but this Ice Makes did such a good job on Terrorscape. It's like it's phenomenally good. So I'm going to give him this one pass here with Epochs. And I do like Civilization games anyway.
Right.
Yes.
So I'm hoping this one is good.
I'd not even heard of this.
Yeah, this is not one I spotted. Nice pull. Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
Perfect transition. All right. Okay, so my number 6 is actually a crossover with Zee.
Yeah, you fooled me so much there.
did,
My heart
like,
skipped a beat when you pointed
Richard
at
Ross again. No, it is. It is.
I'll see myself out.
I don't think this was on my list last year, but it is Dark Quarter. I am excited about this game because, again, I love all of those. You mentioned Destiny's, Chronicles of Crime, all that, and the fact that I think this will get played because I like the theme of this, because I love those games. I love the way the app controls everything. It does all the bookkeeping for you and all that. And then you mix this with this great, New Orleans mystery theme. I think I'm really excited about this.
Again, the specificity of this game is what makes me really excited.
Yeah.
Kind of like Luthier, the specificity excites me and intrigues me. Same thing here. Plus, I'm pretty sure Winter Mullins is like my spirit grandpa.
I think he played Santa Claus.
Is that
He
Kurt
is
Russell there in the
Santa
front?
Claus after he retired.
Ah.
He's out here solving crimes instead.
So anyway, and then of course the two companies that made it, Lucky Duck and Van Ryder, fantastic.
Yep.
So yeah, excited for this actually to come out.
Cool.
Okay, that's me. My number 6 is the other one I've played. I'd played Luthier. This is the other one I've played. Really excited for this one. I am not as big a fan of the Western Legends game, but this I could see becoming my Western Legends game. This is Forsaken. Forsaken is
This was on my list last year.
Yeah, was it? Yeah.
Yes.
It is. It might have been on my list last year. I don't know. It's a sci-fi open world game, which I'm comparing to Western Legends
It's
because
very Western themed. It's pretty close to Firefly-esque.
Yeah, it shares a lot of DNA with Western Legends. Same designers, some of the same ideas.
You know, it actually feels like your favorite. What's the one you went to CCG of?
Fallout?
It has a bit of a Fallout feel to it.
It has a bit of a Fallout feel. It's not...
In the way the robots are kind of weird little clunky things that talk to you. It has that same kind of concept.
It's not post-apocalyptic, but it feels a little bit run down. It's a little dusty, this world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you are kind of a bounty hunter in this world looking for, people to bring to justice. So again, it kind of has a little bit of that Western feel. I really liked what was in it when I got to play it. I liked the writing in it. I liked mechanically what was going on. This is one to dig in for me. This is the kind of game I want to put in front of me and just kind of dig in, go to town. There's a lot.
I hope it comes out. There was some issue with art on it that slowed everything down, and it's also their first game, and I would imagine it might be their last game. This is from Game Trays.
Yeah, right.
And I just haven't heard much from them lately, so I hope it works out.
Yeah, hopefully everything is on track for 2025. Really want to check it out.
Speaking of hope is about my number 6 here because I haven't really played this game or I know much about it. They had a booth at Essen, and I tried to go by, but it was crowded every time, and it was a small little booth. And this is Terraria, the board game. I don't know much about the company. It's Paper Fort Games and Relogic, which is the company that makes the video game Terraria. Chris Kingsnorth is the designer. Again, not a lot more than that, but I like Terraria, which is basically it's a 2D Minecraft.
Is that like a Dig Dug style thing, or what's going on there?
Yeah, that is how the game is. You're on this weird alien planet or whatever, and you dig down, and there's already tunnels all over the place.
Huh.
And there's monsters in those tunnels, and monsters come at night. You slowly build up. You get a better pickaxe, and you can go down farther, and so on and so forth. I played it for a long time. I was playing it just consistently. I haven't played it for a bit. I hope it's good. We're running at 50% on these video games going into board games, but the ones that do work really well.
Right.
So, I don't know. I'm excited about it. I'm basically picking it more because of the theme than anything else.
Sure.
But I like Terraria, so.
I've never played that video game. I tried once. I remember I downloaded it because I think it was like free to play. Downloaded it, opened it up, and I literally walked around on the surface of, I guess, a planet you're saying. I don't know. It looked like just a 2D plane.
It is. I'm saying planet.
I couldn't figure out how to literally do anything. I was like,
really?
The menus immediately overwhelmed me. This is not like when I was a kid either. Like, this was fairly recent, a year ago. I was like, I can't figure out how to even dig. I'm out. And I folded and just deleted it, and I was done. That was I played like 3 minutes.
I get it, and I also when I played it on the iPad, which is easier because your buttons are kind of there.
Okay.
But when I played it on the computer, I was like, okay, I got to remember how you got to equip the pickaxe to dig. You also have a sword. You'll switch back and forth because enemies will come at you. So
Sure.
You can hit them with a pickaxe, but you're better off with the sword. And you're just constantly wanting to upgrade so you can go farther and farther. You go all the way down. There's lava at the bottom. There's bosses you can find. You'll dig and eventually find a boss, which is kind of cool.
Huh.
Yeah.
It really gives you that whole, what can I find? And you can find something everywhere. Like you might find there's amazing weapons and items that could be anywhere.
What's funny is I like the idea of that game. I love those whole pickaxe and sword and farming and that cycle. I love those kinds of games, but this one just didn't do it. Maybe the board game will get me into it.
We'll see.
Here's hoping.
All right, so this is one that I probably know the least about, but that's consciously I'm trying not to look ahead too much. This is where I honestly thought you were going when you mentioned Forsaken. But this is kind of a campaign version of one of my favorite games, and this is Western Legends Stories.
You gonna put any original games on your list?
You know what? This is original for me. I love Western Legends, but I'm really excited to play this one. And I have heard various things about this that some
It's
good,
a
some bad.
spin-off.
And it's like
Who
it doesn't
played it
hold
at Essen? Chris did.
And you loved it, right? Okay, good. He did say it's pretty good. It got a thumbs up. But yeah, so this is pretty much, it could be scenario or campaign based. If anything really fits itself to a campaign style game, I think it's Western Legends. But how do you do that and not lose the sandbox feel?
I don't know.
You know, that's so anyway, I'm excited to see what they do with it. I want to see how that progresses because I do love that world that Western Legends has created. And some of my favorite parts of the game is reading those flavor text on things that happens. So if you could somehow put that into a cohesive story, I'm excited about where this will take me.
This is campaign, not legacy, right?
It's campaign, yeah. And I think it's also supposedly
scenario-based?
You can do scenarios too, and it's a campaign. So I think you can pick scenarios and just play those through. So
And when you're done, is it your own version of Western Legends?
No, that would be
I don't
legacy,
think so.
right? I mean,
yeah. I think you
No, but I mean, I'm assuming the campaign, even though it's campaign, it will still add these swords. I mean, these guns. I'm wondering if at the
it
end
might be
you
swords, Tom. They still had swords in the West.
sabers, sir.
Western Legends itself has gotten to where it's like you have these traveling merchants that go around, and they've added these elements to the later expansions I can see that would do well in this. But I don't know what new they brought, what they brought from the old one, but I'm excited to see what it is.
All right.
Okay. My number 5 is the other one I know very little about here. This is a game called Restart, and it sounds fascinating.
What a great cover.
So this is from the company Teetotum is the company that did that Age of Rome game. So their games
Look at that console.
are very complex, and this one certainly also sounds very complicated. I also know their production values are very, very good. That got me excited. But here's the deal. You are traveling through time, trying to fix things, and while doing so, you have to recover from the side effects that time travel is having on your mind.
I'm in.
So you have to both travel through time, but take care of yourself. The description on BGG mentions a lot of mechanisms and a lot of phases, but here's the one thing that was kind of the button on this one was, at the end of the game, and for the next game, you can either start clean, like you would, the beginning of your sessions with this, or you can start from the world dystopia as you left it at the end of the last game. So not a campaign, just
The option.
the option to...
It's basically a guy was really lazy, and he was like, I don't want to clean up the game.
I'm not cleaning it up. This is what it looks like at the beginning.
Let's just start from here.
I think that's really,
No, it is
cool,
really cool.
right? It's like such a weird...
that
It's
is
not
really
a
neat.
campaign. It's just like, you start randomly, I guess, or you can start from where you left the world last time.
Yeah.
Sounds fascinating. I'm really interested in this one. Not a whole lot of info, like I said, or I guess there is a lot of info, but it's not concrete. But the idea, the look, I'm psyched. Restart, my number 5.
Man, that's cool. I might have put that on mine. That's going to happen a lot, I'm assuming. All right, my number 5 is from Level 99 Games. Brad Talton is the designer. This one, I am just all in because of the theme, and that is Spooktacular. So this is a game in which you are a monster, and in this theater, they're showing silver screen movies. You are one of 20 different monsters that escapes out of the silver screen, and then you just go rampaging around, eating as many theater patrons as you can.
I have never been more
like
proud
that
of you in
movie.
my life for having this on your list. This is a great
This better
game.
be on your list.
No, because
Wait, what?
I played it so much. I love
Wait,
this
you
game.
played this?
Yes.
It's not out yet.
Yes. I've played the prototype a lot.
Really?
It's
Is it
when,
fun?
when I was stuck in Indianapolis.
Oh, you went
Remember?
up to Indianapolis. Yeah, that's
I was
right.
like, I don't play prototypes. And they're like, here, just take this. I'm like, okay, I'll take it. Then I'm stuck there for a week. It's really good. I mean, it's so thematic on the blob. Like, the blob will just split and go through, and you've got the Christine, not Christine, but non-IP Christine, has to drive around through
that comes
the
alive
car.
and runs over people.
Yeah,
I was
and
trying to figure out, is that the lady who explodes things? No, that's Carrie, right?
That's Carrie, yes.
Yeah,
She's
okay.
not it. Anyway, and then the...
Yeah, but 20 different monsters. That just sounds.
Well, it sounds like that one movie, right? The Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the chalkboard
Mixed with Last
scene.
Action
Yes.
Hero,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
They come
yeah.
out. But it's also not mini heavy. They're all little meeples and stuff like that. And I know it sounds dumb, but that actually makes me more excited about it because
agree.
I don't need this giant boxes and boxes. I can have 20 different monsters in the base game.
That's it. And
Okay,
I've
okay.
only played like 4 of them, but this has so many things that come out. Artwork's good, and I agree. And it happens in a theater.
Joey's on the cutting edge of games. I'm just
No, I'm
saying.
not. I've never
Joey, how many
really-
of my games have you played already?
All of them. That's why they're not on my list.
I just want to go back in time when Joey said, "Proud of you."
I got tears. You had like a theme game on your list.
I have tears on the inside.
talking
In
about.
my tear duct where they belong.
Actually, these are all pretty themed. You'll see. You'll see.
Okay, so finally, because this is not
Finally,
based
we're
on
at
any
4.
because it's no, it's not based on any pre-existing game.
Oh, here
This
we go.
one-
An original pick.
I don't like either one of you.
Just saying,
This one,
it's the word for
this one
that.
does have nostalgia for me, and it's a 2-player game. And because I used to love with Hero Quest building your own dungeons and having your friends go through these.
Yes.
This is the lightest game probably on my list. I mean, obviously on my list, but it is layers. This one was on Kickstarter. I mean, crowdsurfing. This right here is a 1v1, and you're each building a dungeon. And then the other person's trying to go through your dungeon. And as a kid, this was my favorite thing to do is build a dungeon, have my friends go through it. Each person's building their own dungeon, and then the other person has a sheet, and they are navigating your dungeon, trying to get more treasure and survive longer. And whoever navigates the other dungeon. And of course, there are rules and placement. Like you can only place monsters next to this. So there's a type of reasoning where you can kind of go through each other's dungeon. And it sounds very interesting. You know, so I'm liking. I like the components.
This screams
of this.
you because this is very much like that Run game,
It is, yeah.
right?
yeah.
I mean,
So
you like this kind of stuff. You like 2-player games with hidden information.
I do. I love Run. This type of thing.
He likes that, and monsters. If anybody combined those two things, you'd be in heaven.
I like this. I don't know that it's the. I've already played one like this. I forget what it was. I forget. There were so many of these dungeon roll and write type things that came out. There was one where you drew out your dungeon, then people went through it.
Okay, I have not tried that one. That's just anyway. So the idea of this, like I said,
I like the
nostalgia
font
for me.
a lot.
What is it called?
Layer. Am I
Layers.
How do you say it?
I don't know. I know how you say it.
Layer.
I'm not mocking you. It's
Well,
layer.
layers.
Is it layer?
Layers. It's layers.
I'm losing. I'm getting that thing where the word has stopped meaning anything. There's a word for that. I think it's layers.
Anyway, the company has a lot of their covers look very similar. They just have that Akubra Chupacabra thing game too, and I don't know.
What is happening? He's just mumbling. I think he's having a stroke.
Anyway,
Like
so
Chupacabra.
oh,
All right.
anyway, I'm excited about it.
My number 4 is a worker placement game called Mutagen. We just saw this actually in crowd surfing, in which the workers might mutate and give you new abilities for the game, and then you stick little plastic like tentacles or like a weird claw or something on your little wooden meeple. Remember
Who's
that?
the publisher of this?
The publisher is
This looks like
Drandau or something like that.
It really looks like a Valeria game almost.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's from Dranda, I think is the name of that company, and
This looks cool.
We got to see it at Essen. They had like a demo of it. I didn't, play the demo, but I saw the game. And I really like the look of it. And again, it was on I want to say Kickstarter recently. Looked great on there. I love the idea of worker placement where the workers change, especially throughout the game.
Like upgrade?
Yeah, you can mutate the
like that.
dudes, and then that guy now has special abilities because he has a tentacle arm. or
Oh,
something.
that's this one.
That's this
Yeah.
one. Layers. Anyway, I really like what's going on here, and that company has not let me down yet. So I'm hoping that they will continue on that trajectory. My number 9 was something else, but my number 4 is Mutagen.
That's great.
Good save.
Yeah,
Seamless.
My number 9. My number 4 is on my list because I recently just started playing the video game that this board game is based on. And this is Deep Regrets. So this game is clearly based on Dread.
Yes, Dredge.
Right?
Yeah.
And I never even heard of Dread until
Dredge.
Deep Regrets. Dredge. Sorry,
Yeah.
Dredge. Well, it's not. It could be called Dread and it would work.
Sure.
Because it's
very spooky. I've been playing it too a little bit.
It gives
yeah.
you a feeling of unease, I guess is the best word,
Yes.
right? It's unease that sometimes turns into fear, and it's an in-game mechanism that also translates to outside the game, because when I'm going and I'm out in the middle of the sea and suddenly I'm like, it's 7 o'clock. Oh, no. Okay, we're fine. And then you hear a rumbling, you're like, I'm not fine.
Yeah.
So that's what this game is essentially, and I think the board game, the designer said, he based it on Dredge. You send out your fishing boats, you're catching fish, and there's weird, unusual fish that are kind of cool to catch, but there's also monsters. I love Deep Regrets, which the designer is Judson Cohen. Tetix Games is the name of the company that makes it, and I'm just... It looks fantastic. It looks great, and I'm excited. It also is a theme that is not, even though it's based on a video game, it's not another nature game or another monster game. This is something different.
It's a weird one, right? I agree. It's very original. Yeah.
Great name too, and possibly if I ever did a top 10 Kickstarter trailers, this is in the top 10.
I agree.
Yeah.
It is one of my favorite ever.
Yeah.
So good.
So Deep Regrets.
All right. So my number 3 is back to expansion, but this is a standalone that you can play. But this is an expansion to a game neither of you have played, and despite my prodding, this is expansion to Shadows of Brimstone, The Lost Tombs, and Hell Train. This right here, it's one Kickstarter that came out with these. Lost Tombs is going to add the entire 1930s pulp Egyptian style feel to it.
That's pretty cool.
I'm talking like mummies, Egyptologists, you have tinkerers, you have all this, and the entire game is
Scorpion King in it?
probably something IP based. But the whole
Interesting.
the whole game is very Stargate. You travel from one generation to another, one area. So this really brings it home for me. This I'm really excited about what the Lost Tombs. Now the Hell Train looks very similar to the Cthulhu one you were talking about as well.
Yeah, well, the covers even are very similar.
It is. And this takes place, again, instead of the map, it takes place on the train itself, but you also have like people trying to rob the train. You have horses that are outside of that map and kind of go through.
Zee's train game has a cooler cover.
It does. This one's probably lighter than Zee's. But both of these look really good. But this, I love the look of these. And again, that 1930s Egyptian pulp style theme I love in games,
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm excited to really have this hit the table.
Nice.
My number 3, Lost Tombs.
Huh.
All right.
That's fun. All right, my number 3 is a racing game. I've been enjoying racing games, and I especially like them if they're kind of post-apocalyptic, kind of grimy a little bit, kind of dirty and dusty, and this game is called Dirt and Dust. So
Wow, that one.
this is not quite post-apocalyptic, but it is, I think, rally racing. I love rally racing, actually. Some of my favorite video games, I like racing video games. But I think my favorite ones are rally racing video games.
I'm having a hard time seeing
This is just a prototype, so this is literally the only picture I could find that looked like anything going on. I like what I'm seeing here. I like the dice-driven nature of it. It's another racing game. It sounds kind of like it prioritizes the thing we talk about sometimes, moving along, being fast-paced. You want that in a racing game. And I like this company, too. I think they put out interesting stuff.
That's true. Albie is pretty good.
Yeah, they do. I don't know. Just they take risks. It feels like that company takes risks.
Yeah.
So this
like
is
Risk?
one, not like Risk, but it is risky, like business.
Gay.
Dirt and Dust, my number 3.
All right, my number 3 is a game that is from Smart Flamingo. The last game I played for them is AI Space Puzzle, which, as a side note, never, ever, ever play AI Space Puzzle with Joey Evans.
I knew that was coming, and he's right. I'm legendarily bad at this game.
It's like, I'm sitting there, like, and people are like, it's here. And I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, yes, that is where it is. And Joey's like, but what about over here? And he's so charismatic. People are like, that must be right. Like, stop listening to him.
Like,
Anyway,
options.
this is a game called West Story, which I think is probably not. Every time I keep saying West Side Story, which is not what this game is. A town building game. Wow. The designer Pietri Dactera. What's interesting about this game for me is it's essentially this game where you're building this tableau of cards in front of you, and then you run through this tableau type thing, and then you add it and make it better and better. And I love that kind of game. I love tableau building games, action-oriented games, and there's a Western theme that doesn't hurt. I like that, but this one is I'm interested in this one based on mechanisms.
I am
than
too.
else.
This is a Kickstarter game, right?
Yeah, probably.
Is this the one from Pink Flamingo or something, or Smart
it's
Flamingo?
Smart Flamingo.
Show
I
that cover
saw
again,
this
Chris.
at Essen.
Oh.
And it looks really good. I remember the guy kind of, gave me a little walkthrough of what was going on, and I was like, this is impressive.
I think you mentioned that before. Show that cover again, Chris. That cowboy prospector guy is the quintessential. I mean, that's just, I don't know.
That's Santa way back in the day.
It does. That's
the funny thing is you can kind of tell that the artist loves drawing animals, but not people so much. That horse looks great. That guy.
He just phoned it in, didn't he?
Yeah, he was like, it's due when? I haven't started on the guy.
Anyway, again, this sounds like it could be a Race for the Galaxy-esque type game.
Yeah.
I like that sort of thing. So that's my number 3, West Story.
That's very nice.
Okay. Again, my number 2 now is a crossover. This one I don't think was on the list last year, but I am excited because I think it is coming out this year, and it's Western Legends in Space. So this crossover.
Oh, you
Zee.
picked that too? Oh, okay,
this is
cool.
Forsaken.
And
I
you
remember,
played this?
I did. I played it. I demoed it at East or something. They had a demo one year.
Okay.
And this, again, it does seem sci-fi Western, very Firefly-esque.
You might have demoed it when we were staying at Gen Con. They had that room there at the hotel when we stayed at the Westin.
I might have. Yeah, that's...
Because everyone was going in there to demo the game. That's where I think you demoed it, maybe? I don't remember. We played it here.
It was several years
I think
ago,
I demoed it. I think when I played it, might have been here.
Yeah.
You guys had it here for a while?
Well, I think we previewed it. Like, we played it live,
Okay.
I want to say, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, it's really good. It's got the Foreteller app already supposed to be coming with it, and I just love the idea of this. It's a very gritty space, like Battlestar Galactica type thing, that grit in space, and I really like that feel to it. And again, I love sandbox, open world. In fact, the Foreteller app is there. I'm really looking forward to this. And I think they got all the stuff figured out that they had to. They had the legal issues.
I hope so.
Because I know people are really upset this has not been delivered yet.
Yeah, sure.
Some of the things that are keeping me from being too excited is this is a game trays game, and they're like, we're going to show off game trays. And I'm like, I want a good game. I don't really care if your boards are all on game trays or anything.
Right.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope it's good. I think this may have been on my list last year.
Because I've played it a little bit, I feel confident that it's going to be good.
do?
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So it's not like I'm not going into it blind. I played a bit, and what I played I liked. So who knows, right?
Yeah.
All right, my number 2 is one I recently discovered because we showed it on Crowd Surfing, and it is a boss battler, which is a very hot genre or type of game right now, and this one has a fantastic look and theme. It's called Sea Beasts, A Bloody Voyage.
This one.
And I just like what's going on. You're Vikings, you have a ship, the monsters are coming at you on the sides. It looks not as sprawling as some of the more intimidating boss battlers to me, right? Like looking at that, the ship with the 6 spaces around it, mechanically it looks very digestible, right? It reminds me a little bit of is it Apex? The one with the dragon on the cover. What's that called?
Primal.
Not Apex. Yeah. It looks like Primal a little bit. Very simple, right? One thing in the middle, 4 things coming at it. This one sort of looks that way, too.
You're in the middle this time.
You're in the middle with the monsters coming at you all around. I think it's a bit of a campaign as well, which boss battlers normally are, and you're traversing the other side there, I think, is sort of islands and ocean. It just sounds really cool. I love the idea here, you know? I love Vikings. I love the boss battling thing when they get it right. It's fantastic, and this one looks like it's doing some neat stuff.
I will admit I forgot about this one.
Yeah,
it probably would have been on my list.
Yeah, no, it seems like a fun one. My number 2, Sea Beasts.
All right, my number 2 is a crossover with Mike DeLisio.
What?
Why would you do that?
Yesterday. Well,
Terrible.
This one here is designer Tatsuka Chuo and the company Uchipakoya, and that is Sweetlands.
Yes.
I am very pumped about this game. It is a big, hefty Euro-style game that looks like a Rosenberg game almost in how it's played, except it's about making candy and cakes and stuff. Look at that board. That's so crunchy.
That is a lot of stuff.
But it's with a fun theme. I don't have to do wheat and silk and all that.
You don't
nonsense.
have to feed your people. Oh, wait, you super do because it's about food. Also, she looks like she's holding that knife like she's about to cut someone's throat.
Why is there a video in the corner?
This shows how to...
Look at it. Look.
I do like that.
Look at that.
I do like that. That's great.
Is that
Bam.
overexposed or is that just really beige?
What are you talking about?
It's a little beige, but that's because there's so many colors on it.
Okay.
I'm okay with the beige board as long as there's colors on top of it. No, you don't have to cover it up. I'm watching it.
Cover it up. I've seen it
Very
enough.
intriguing.
No, that's the way that I think boards should be done, dual layers, because then they don't get all messed up.
I agree. And you can swap that out. I like that.
Yeah. So anyway, this is, like I said, it looks like a lot going on, and I'm always interested in that style of game.
Yeah.
But adding a theme that I think is fun, and then Uchipakaya, I mean, the designer here did Astia, which is a fantastic game, and Aqua Garden. So I'm looking forward to seeing Sweetlands. Don't love the art of the girl. I like the art of everything else, though.
Oh, really?
It's kind of it's
more the arms, isn't it?
Yeah, if you're making food, you don't want to wear that big of sleeves.
Yeah, she's gonna.
Oh my gosh!
Icing
This
all
is what
over
you're
them.
worried about?
Yes. Have you made food? You don't wear sleeves that big.
I don't wear. Well, let's.
He doesn't wear sleeves.
Chris, moving on.
I love food, but. And then sometimes I'm just like there, and I need to eat it, and it's like
kneading.
okay. I mean, I just want to explain it, but I won't.
All right, number 1.
Number 1. This is a game that I have played this before, and I wanted to put it lower.
We put our games that we played before at number 10s.
Yeah, what are you doing? Your number 1 is a game you played before?
It kept bumping up because I like this game that much, and I'm really looking forward to playing it. And it's actually a crossover with you.
Oh.
And
Can't
I'm
argue,
going to
Tom.
pretend I don't know what it is because I saw it when you printed out your thing on the wrong printer.
Well, that's not my fault.
That's
Yes, it
100%
is.
your
It
really is
fault.
100% my fault.
What is it? I don't know what it is.
It is tinned.
Oh, okay.
There's
Tinned-
a 1 in it.
Yeah, tinned.
O-tend.
Tinned
That
is
is a 1. Yes, okay, there's a 1.
Tinned's a very. It's not a heavy rolling, right? I don't think, but I think I'd compare it to Hadrian's Wall as far as depth. But this right here, I think what gets me about this game is the fact that every single avenue you can take is enjoyable. You know, like, and I wanted to play it again because I want to be like, all right, I want to fish more, I want to mine more, I want to Tend is probably my least favorite, which is funny. It's the namesake of the game. But it's, and the little scratch-offs as you start going down.
I love that stuff.
It's really good. And then I think they're going to have an app, if they don't already, that you can actually.
They showed the app. It works really well.
Does it? And that right there, so that adds unlimited variability to when you scratch off and go through, because it's very hard when you scratch off to not look at the person next to you and be like, I know where that is, or I know what's not
That
there.
was just the one demo thing
No, but
we
they're
had.
different.
They're
though.
different now.
Oh, well, they weren't then, so I cheated.
Why would you admit that
Not
on camera?
intentionally.
So did you say not intentionally? Come on, guy. This guy with the puns and the cheating. This is the more problematic of the two.
It's really hard when they all do it right in front of you. I'm like,
And you still lost by so many points.
I really did.
Yeah, don't
Because-
cheat, kids, okay? You'll still lose.
It's called karma. But no,
That's called Tend.
again, this really it. I know it's a bit of a heavier, I guess, roll and write, but it feels very streamlined because I think they did a good job with the rules.
And
you kinda go-
thematically, it's very light. It has a light touch, right?
It does, and it's a different theme that I normally would gravitate to. But I think it's really good. I'm really looking forward to it. And the markers, of course, everybody loves the markers that actually have the shapes on them.
Those are cool.
They're
Stamps.
the little stamps on one side, marker on the other. So anyway, it's really, really enjoyable. Tend.
All right, my number one is a crossover as well with.
I know what it is. It's with me, right?
Yes,
I know what it is because you talked about it this morning, and
I did.
I know Z's gonna put that.
Yeah,
on his
man,
list.
I'm really psyched. I've backed very few things on Kickstarter. Very few. This is one of the ones I backed.
I was there this morning.
You were there. I said it out loud. Like this. And then I mentioned a spin-off. Small version, like this. You know what I regret really? I regret making that noise.
I know. That's all I can focus on now.
I have serious regrets about that noise. Deep
that is
regrets
okay. Got it.
about
All right.
that noise. What do you think it is?
Deep regrets.
Yes!
I did not cheat this time.
Yes, you did. You 100%
Also, you
did.
could have known by the fact that he didn't say anything when I talked about it.
That's true. He
I was
doesn't
like
say
this.
a lot. He's a quiet person.
Deep Regrets looks fantastic. I love the theme. I love the artwork. The artwork is so good. I love the spooky but thick black lines, so it makes it look kind of cartoony. It's, it's evil, but lighthearted evil. I don't know how to describe. I love this game. The look. I love the mechanisms. The little bit what I gathered from the crowdfunding campaign, the dice-driven thing, managing your going insane and fishing up all this crazy stuff. This was easily my number one.
And avoiding that giant tentacle. I'll tell you, in the game itself, in Dredge, there's this big squid area under the ground. You can see it. And there's something you need to get from the middle of that area. And I'm like...
I haven't done that yet. That sounds
so
terrifying.
scary, man.
Yeah.
Now, is this officially based on that game?
No.
or not?
No, he's says he's inspired by it, whatever. I mean, I'm glad he said that because otherwise everyone would have said it anyway.
And this is the trailer with the fisherman and all that.
Yeah.
That's a
The video
fantastic
actually,
trailer.
You should get the video game Dredge. It's pretty inexpensive.
Really?
I think you'd really like it. You just go out in this fishing boat. You catch fish. It feels like a board game. You put these little polyomino fish in your ship. You take them back, sell them. That's the game.
And you
Except
upgrade the ship.
Okay.
You buy better engines and better lights when you're out at night and more, fishing lines. There's mini games for fishing, so you'll like that. You're simple like that.
I knew that's where I was going. I was like, so you'll like that. But
No, it's really good. I've enjoyed it a lot.
okay.
All right, my number one is very similar to Z's number two here. I also like water, fights in the water. This one is Sirens: The Deep Sea. Florian Malzahn, Forgotten Tales.
Whoa.
I'm very excited about this one. This is basically a dungeon crawl type thing in the ocean.
What?
So here's what I'm excited about this. We did, I think, talk about this on Kickstarter. First of all, it's a cooperative game. It has scenarios, but also free mode.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
Just wander
And
around.
so in this game, you're moving around, you're exploring sunken ships and things. Last case, you can even decide, hey, we're going to go fight one of these giant old beings.
Are you like a diver? Or?
You are like a sea person riding something. Each person is riding something. You can't see it there. One person's riding a turtle. One person's riding a swordfish. One person's riding a dolphin.
Swordfish.
And I just love this idea so much.
Swordfish, you said?
Oh, yeah. Would you go dolphin?
No.
Dolphins are smart. We can have a conversation along the way. Here's the thing: if a swordfish,
have
you will
swords.
stab someone with that swordfish, then you have to ride the rest of the trip with that person impaled on
Yeah.
your swordfish.
You can
Yeah.
say sorry.
Like a giant manta ray, you're like on a magic carpet ride, basically, at that point.
I think one of them does ride a manta ray.
Yes.
It's really cool looking. This is one with miniatures and everything. And I mean, I just came off from playing an aquatic dungeon crawler with
Tidal Blades?
Tidal Blades,
Yeah, huh?
So I mean, I think
Oh, I love that one.
I just
This
love
looks
water.
cool.
right?
I agree, man. Actually, my 1 and 2 are very much about water, and I
Mine too.
don't know if I'd seen this or the cover maybe didn't. The cover's quite busy.
It
I'm
is.
not sure if I like that.
Yeah, well, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I just did it. I think the miniatures they look
Sounds
really
good.
cool.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
It's really fun, and again, it feels a little bit different, and it doesn't even feel like necessarily like a dungeon crawl. You're also going around exploring and stuff, and to me, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So
Very cool.
I love that.
Wow.
that is my number one. And of course, we'll give special shout out to didn't make our list, but of course, we're all interested in when it comes out, and that is I Made You a Mixtape. Is coming out this year.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
We would have made a bigger noise about it, but one of the designers is Dan Hughes, and he doesn't need more.
He makes big noises on his own.
all the time.
Yeah, so that is some games. We're going to do a little bit more talking. If you want to hear some of the games that we didn't put on our list, join our Patreon, and you can find out more. We'll give a little short video there. But these are the ones we're most excited about. But again, there are. If you're like, how did you not mention this game? Easily, I missed
lot.
it. There's so much. Some of the games
Yes.
these guys talk about, I was like, oh, okay,
Yep.
cool. And so I'm looking forward to finding out tomorrow. There's some company going to announce a game probably.
Yes,
and you're like,
right.
oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's
Well, there was
amazing.
one today in the news that I was like, that probably would have made my top 10.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, Abyss.
Abyss
There's
one,
an
yeah.
Abyss
Yeah.
like duel or something. I'm like, yes.
That was good.
that's it for today, folks. Hey, our RPG is coming back tomorrow. It's been 5 months, I think, since
Been a
we
long
played
time.
it. Okay, so we're bringing that back. And, yeah, it's you'll see what happens then. Join us at 10 a.m. We'll see you then. 10 a.m. Until then, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Zee Garcia.
And I'm Joy Evans.
We're all smirk. We have layers. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. You can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vasel.